Welcome back, everyone. We're on example 3 of our prisms, and we are still continuing to find lateral area, surface area, and volume. In this case, our volume and lateral area and surface area are going to deal with a regular hexagonal prism. Okay, so we're going to start right off with the lateral area. If I can get a pen, that is. The lateral area is the perimeter of the base times the height. So let's look at our base. Our base is 8 centimeters per side, and there are 6 sides. So the perimeter, I'll just jot that down over here, is 6 times 8, which is 48. So the perimeter of our base is 48. So we're going to plug that into the formula at 48. The height, as you can see, is 15 centimeters. So 48 times 15 will give us the lateral area of our prism. And I do that on my calculator, I get 720 square centimeters. That's the lateral area. Surface area. The surface area is our lateral area plus 2 base areas. And we know the lateral area is 720. So now all we have to do is find our base area. So I'm going to go over here to the base, and I'm going to draw in the apothem and the little right triangle that goes with it. And I'm going to talk about the angles in a hexagon. Remember that the sum is n minus 2 times 180, so that means 720. 720 divided by 6 says that every angle is 120 degrees. And that makes this angle, when it's cut in half, 60 degrees. The base edges are all 8, so that's a 4-4 split. The short leg on this 30, 60, 90 is 4. That makes the long leg 4 root 3. And that happens to be our apothem. So our base area is 1/2 times 4 root 3 times a perimeter of 48. So half of 4 is 2. 2 times 48 is 96 square roots of 3. That's our base area, the number I'm going to bring over here. 96 square roots of 3. Now I'm going to put these together, so I get 720 plus 96 times 2, which is 192 square roots of 3. Now these can't be combined because this one has a radical 3 and this doesn't, and so this is just our final answer. 720 plus 192 radical 3. The volume, remember, is the area of our base times our height. The area of the base we found out over here was 96 square roots of 3. We're going to multiply that by our 15 centimeters, which is our height. And so I just have to take 96 times 15, and I get 1,440 square roots of 3, don't lose that square root of 3, centimeters cubed, since I'm in volume. And that is our hexagonal prism. Okay, let's move right on to example number 4. Example number 4 is a right triangular prism, and they've given us 2 sides on the base that are 10 and 10, so I know that this is a 45, 45, 90, and so quickly I can plug in my third side at 10 radical 2, and the height of this thing is 25 centimeters. Okay, so let's get started right away. Lateral area is the perimeter of the base times the height. So I'm going to go over here and come up with my perimeter. The perimeter is 10 plus 10, that's 20, plus 10 square roots of 2, and I cannot combine these because this one has a radical 2 and this one doesn't. So back over here in the formula, I get 20 plus 10 square roots of 2 as my perimeter, times my height, which is 25, and I'm going to have to do the distributive property. So 25 times 20, which is 500, plus 25 times 10, or 250 square roots of 2. And this is in centimeters squared. Now I can't combine those, remember, because one of them has a radical 2. Surface area is my lateral area plus 2 base areas. So the 500 plus 250 radical 2 has to start this. And then I'm going to add 2 base areas. So I'm going to go over here and find the base area. Base area, remember, is 1/2 base times height, because it's a triangle. So I have 1/2 times 10 times 10, and that's 100 cut in half, it's 50. So my base area is 50. That's what goes into this parenthesis. And so I have 500, and if I look over here, that's another 100. So 600 plus 250 square roots of 2. And I can't combine those again. And that's in centimeters squared. So 600 plus 250 squared to 2 centimeters squared. Volume. Area of the base times the height is the formula. I'm going to go back over here and get my base area. Notice what's over here, it's 50. And then the height is right here, it's 25. So 50 times 25 is 1,250 centimeters cubed. Remember, we are working in volume, so it's cubics. Okay, that is example number 3. Let's go to example 4. Maybe it's example 5. I might be out of order. But anyway, let's do example 5. This is a pentagonal prism, and it is our last example. I want you to notice or remember that a pentagon requires trig, and so you'll definitely need your calculator for this problem. Make sure it's handy. Alright, so what do we know? It's regular, so that means all the sides are the same. So I'm going to start out really quickly with the perimeter, just so I can get that done with. The perimeter is 5 times 10, because there's 5 sides and they're 10 each. So that is 50 centimeters for a perimeter. Remember, the height is right here, and it is 8 centimeters. And now let's actually get started. Remember, at any time you should be pausing and going back if you need to. So, lateral area is the perimeter of the base times the height. The perimeter we found at 50, and the height is 8, so 400 centimeters squared is our lateral area. Surface area is our lateral area plus 2 base areas. And so I know I have the 400. Now I'm going to have to add 2 base areas, and I think I'm going to have to do some work for this base area. Alright, this is a pentagon, so I'm going to draw in my apothem. And I'm going to look at the angles. I know that that's a 5. And let's see, n minus 2 times 180, so that's going to come up to be 540 for the pentagon. Divided by 5 says every angle is 108 degrees. Cut that in half, meaning that that angle is going to be 54 degrees. So I'm going to have to use the tangent function to find out what the rest of this information is going to be. So let's go over here. The tangent of 54 is the apothem over 5. Okay, so tangent of 54 times 5. It says that each side, or each apothem, is about 6.88. And I'm not going to clear my calculator, because I'm going to have to actually go and find the area of this thing. So the area is 1/2 AP. So 1/2 times about 6.88, it's in my calculator, times a perimeter, which we found at 50. So using my calculator, I'm going to take the 6.88 times 50 times 1/2, and I get about 172.05. That is my base area. I'm going to put that up here. And now I'm going to continue to find my surface area. 400 plus 172.05 times 2, 344.1, and I'm going to add those together. Keep in mind that this is now becoming a big approximation, so 744.1 centimeters squared is my surface area. Last piece is the volume. It's the area of the base times the height. We said our base area was about 172.05. We multiply that by my height of 8 centimeters. And this is an approximation again. And we come up with about 1,376.4 centimeters cubed. And that is the volume of our pentagonal prism. Alright, that concludes our videos on the prism, the surface area, the lateral area, and the volume. Remember, you may go back at any time and look at these again, take notes on them, make sure you have the formulas down. Have a good evening, everyone.